In this video, we're going to discuss some of the settings and how to create our sections and some of the subtle nuances about creating them. So let's start first with some of our preferences. We're going to go to our workspace preferences, and the first one is the Superelevation Settings. We have the options of color shaded fill, boundaries only, and none. The color shaded fill will fill in all of the superelevation lanes with colors. They are hard-coded in and are based on the cross slope, and so the shading will change from a dark blue up to orange and red on the other side of the spectrum. The boundaries only will draw the outline of the superelevation lanes, and so both of these options you can actually use them to select your superelevation lanes. The none option will turn off all of the superelevation lanes, but it will not delete them, so you can come back here and change one of the other two settings and they will reappear for you. Keep in mind, on the color shaded fill, you also have to have the view attributes turned on. So if you're going to use it, make sure you have the fill turned on for whatever level you're drawing your superelevation lanes in. The other setting is found under Design File, and what we want to look at is the station settings and the profile settings, in particular the slope precision. These settings control what your element handlers will look like on your superelevation lanes. And so the precision up under station setting will determine how many decimal places you'll see on the stationing. And the slope precision will show you how many decimal places you'll see on the cross slopes. So if you have a minus 6% cross slope, you'll actually see it in this case as minus 6.00% because it's using the slope precision. And finally, it's going to draw the superelevation lanes onto your active microstation level. So in this case, I have it set to a level called Supers, and that's where it's going to draw to. It does not use a feature or element templates. Let's go ahead and draw our sections. So I'll select the Create Superelevation Section tool. I'm going to give it a name, in this case my alignment name, which is Main. I'm going to locate my alignment, and I can do my start and stop and station. I can either do this graphically or I can key them in. And now it wants to know what I want to use for a minimum tangent length. And this is used strictly for setting up my curve sets. And in this alignment I have 6 curves, and it will automatically split them into 6 curve sets. However, if I have a compound curve or 2 curves very, very close together, and I want them to act as one, or I want to be able to update them as one, that's controlled by this tangent length. So for example, if I set this to 200, okay, you can see that in this second section we actually have 2 curves, and that's because the tangent between them was shorter than our minimum. But now if I undo, and let's go back and do that again, and this time I'm going to go ahead and use 100. Now you can see that it split it all into individual curve sets. And why is that important? Well, because if you want to do an update, let's say for example, this particular curve, I go in and I make a change to it for whatever reason, or I want to change the design speed that I use to do my supers, I can come in and make a change, and then I can reprocess just this one section. I don't have to reprocess the whole thing. So I can do 1 section or 2 sections, whatever is changed. So if I have a 5-mile long job and I'm doing supers at one end and somebody else is doing alignment changes at the other, they're not going to impact my super calculations. Now in this case we can go ahead, and these are editable. You can see that's got the station range on it, and it also has the arrow, so I can grab onto those and I can go ahead and move it down. You'll notice, however, that only moved one of them, so if I want to move both of them, I'll have to slide them together and get in the same spot. Okay. So that shows us how we can adjust and create our superelevation sections. And next we're ready to define our superelevation lanes, and that will continue in the next video.